Hey, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44, on my Facebook page, True Divine 44. Like, shares, subscribes and comments are greatly appreciated on either or both of those platforms. And much love to everybody who's doing that thus far. You know I love you all. You're helping me grow, supporting me, and I really appreciate it. So this is a daily energy read. I pick up on the collective energies around me, concentrate for a while, pull some cards, translate those energies via tarot to bring to you. So this is for the 30th of the 4th, 30th of April 2020. The first card being, unbelievably, because it's kept coming out on nearly every reading, including the monthly readings that'll be out tomorrow, the Six of Pentacles, and it's awesome. This is amongst all the chaos, amongst all the confusion, amongst all of the lies, the propaganda, the human spirit prevails in that the people that want to see each other do well, the people that want to support each other and give, be generous to one another in all the different ways that they can, whether that's giving their time to build things, whether that's giving their time to mow people's lawns, or whether that's giving money or food. There's a give and take here, and there's a real sense of connectedness and feeling stronger in the numbers that are being created. And it's very important. It's very important that this energy, the card, the energy that's within this card is so impactful and so powerful when it is done in such great numbers. And all I can say is from my readings and from the energy that I'm picking up on, that the numbers are strong, because this card just will not go away. This card keeps bringing itself back up and showing itself to offer that reassurance, because we're not hearing so much about the communities coming together. We're not hearing that on the headlines. We're not hearing the good that is happening right now amongst the people on ground level. This is a recognition, a huge recognition within many, many people of how the reality is really set up, and how we've been provoked to be divided, we've been provoked to be judgmental, we've been provoked to conform to that, and start to enjoy it, start to enjoy having grudges against a different culture, or being divided because of the colour of somebody's skin. And so we're not blameless. Each and every one of us at some point in time has allowed ourselves to be affected by the magic that's been going on, the propaganda, the lies, the mind games, and we've allowed it to go on for too long. And there's a realization within so many people that this is not how it should be, and actually a realization of what the real threat is. The real threat is numbers being depleted, the strength in numbers being depleted by going along with this division tactic any longer. So there's this real connectedness through initially, maybe a little bit of selfishness, maybe a little bit of fear, but whatever can be meant for harm can turn for good. And it has definitely turned for good, because people have remembered that it feels good to be connected to your neighbours. It feels good to be connected with people around the world. The internet within the energy of this card is very definitely being used for the good that it can provide right now, connecting people all over the world, allowing people to share truths beyond the headlines, because they're living there, they're witnessing what's going on, and they can counteract any lies or any contradictions. So this is a real powerful energy, and all I can say to you is, if you're not part of it, get on the train, because you are safer, to be honest, in numbers. You're safer within a community that you can trust. And this is where this card that seemingly, it's not a major arcana, it's not, some people might think, yeah, it's being generous, being kind. No, it's the human spirit. It's a very powerful card. The energy in this card right now is so powerful, it's palpable. And so feed into that, be part of that. If you're already part of that, go that bit further to be part of it even more. If you're not part of that, reach out, attract those people to you, do something that allows them to know about you and you know about them, to feel that connectedness. It's a real balance as well, because the energy I'm picking up on is that within these pods of people that are coming together, there is real reciprocity. There's a real want and starting to be a real enjoyment of the giving and receiving, the hit that gives you on both ends of the scale. It's a feel-good factor. It bolsters you, it sends you off on your day in the right way. So feed into this energy. If you're not in this energy already, get into it, get involved. Find some people that you connect with, that you have similar views to. Make sure that you're finding community, tribe, whatever you want to call it, that are on the same page as you, that don't want to continue this cycle of holding grudges, of the manufactured division in the first place that was put upon us, that we accepted, but it was an absolutely manufactured equation for us to fall for. And so make sure that you're being discerning, and you know that you're connecting with people who are ready to end that. They're ready to just say, well, this is a new generation. We've all at some point in time fallen for that. We've all at some point in time accepted that. And we've all at some point in time enjoyed that division. On different ends of the scale, yes, in different amounts, but we have. Nobody's blameless here, and that's perfect, because then that means nobody needs to be forgiven within the communities. They can start afresh. And I know that might be hard for a lot of people to hear, because we've fed into this energy of being divided. But ultimately, it's a battle cry. It's a war strategy, if you like, in that if we want this cycle to end, if we want this trickery of the division and the control to end, then we have to end it good and proper. We have to end it in a way that we're not going to carry on those grudges that are past, that we're going to draw a line in the sand, step over it and never look back again, and remember what it was like to be divided, and remind our children, who hopefully will experience a real connected community around them wherever they go, because there'll be a value for human life. And that's what we want. And we want to make sure that we never forget what it's really been like to be divided, what it's really caused, the pain, the hurt, the death, the abuse. So feed into this energy with everything you've got today. Give it everything you've got. Give people food if you've got it to give. Give people your time if you've got it to give. Give what is okay for you to give, for you to still have your scales in balance. Don't deplete yourself. This is reciprocity. It's give and take, but always keeping that balance. So awesome energy. So the second card is the Five of Swords. Now this speaks to a lot of the energies that are flying around these pods of people who are doing the right thing, who are getting together, who are being strong together, strong in numbers. There's this sort of trolley feeling to this card today, in that there is many opportunities for these people who have grown and expanded and realized the need to be together in this, there's many trigger points around today. The trolls are out in force, if you like. And then on the wider stage, the trolls are out in force even more so, that there may very well be even more scandalous headlines, or there may very well be today really obvious, really almost rude to think that we would fall for it headlines, which has been the case many times before. But, particularly today, the trolls are out in force, whether that's the individuals or whether that's the mainstream media, or whether that's the politicians. So be aware of that and stay in your balance, stay in your whole self. Don't give any of your energy to this. Don't allow yourself to slip back into ego, to be triggered enough to give a reactionary statement back, or to give a reactionary, worse still, action back. Because if we were to fall into this today, there's no real winners with this card. It's a win at any cost. Well, what cost? It's not strategic today to be reactionary at all. It's never strategic to be reactionary, but particularly today, it's not strategic to be reactionary. It would be giving the person or the people or the thing that is trying to draw that energy from you exactly what they want, and take it away from this important energy, this connectedness to people who you can respect and trust. So just be aware of that, these birds, this air, these words flying around, particularly on the internet, to try and trigger people into fear, because the fear is draining. It's the meter's going down day by the day. People are less fearful, people are more questioning, people are being more discerning about the information that they're getting, and seeing that half of it doesn't make sense. So it feels like today there's almost a little bit of a plan on all ends of the scale, on all levels, right up and down the hierarchy of trolls, to try and jumpstart that fear again, to try and get these people who have done so well, getting connected, getting balanced, and being discerning, being generous to one another, back into this fear state where they can be molded easier, they can be, bottlenecked into a certain place easier, a certain place of fear. So just be aware of that, and don't give them what they want, whoever they are, whatever it is. Don't give it what it wants at all. There's this King of Wands for the third card today, and where in its upright, he's in his reverse, and where in his upright, this king is a beautiful king. He's fatherly, he's the man of the people kind of thing. He knows how to deliver. He's magnetic. He can inspire people with just words, with just a speech, or with just actions, with his creativity. In the reverse, there's this very narcissistic energy. And this speaks again of right up and down the hierarchy of society, that right at the top, whatever as above, so below. And whatever is at the top will filter down. And in varying degrees with the people on the ground, we'll be affected and we'll act in certain ways throughout our lifetime, throughout our journey, that reflects the higher up, what is being fed down the pipe. And we have been living under a very narcissistic, controlled, manipulated reality through the narcissists that are at the top. And that's what they are, the narcissists. They're the love bomb society. They give you your own money back, that you get to pay back to them, but for now they'll give you your own money back. And that's like the love bombing. And they'll praise the NHS staff, or they'll praise other doctors around the world, and they'll love bomb you on that. And then at the same time, they're burying the statements of doctors who are trying to tell the truth. They're threatening nurses that they'll be fired if they speak on social media or if they speak to the news at all. So there's this narcissistic trickery type of energy, and it's out in full force today, which is why it's so important to feed into this community spirit, into this togetherness, because the only reason a narcissist isolates its victim, a narcissist takes not just the person away from the friends that they have, the family that they have. They manipulate it so much that if you can stay with a narcissist long enough, and we've been with narcissists long enough, haven't we, all of us, they'll strip you away of who you actually are. They'll disconnect you from you. They'll make you feel like you don't know you anymore. You'll question yourself. There's the gaslighting that starts where, they make you feel like you're going cray-cray, because they say something was there when it never was. Or, they'll say you put something, just simple little things that build up into a big thing where you start to question your own mind. And by that time, you're not even connected to your spirit, your shell. So you can be manipulated and molded and be told to do things that you would never do, told to accept things that you would never accept if you were in your whole self, if you were connected to your spirit, if you knew your soul's journey, if you were connected to the body that you're housed in. And so when that happens, it's so much easier to cause division. It's so much easier to cause bickering and arguments. And on ground level, that's what we've been doing. We've been in this reactionary state from this narcissistic top tier. We've been in this reactionary state. And also, as above, so below, there are many narcissists. Because of what is above, there are many narcissists now in our society. So we are directly affected by it, not just from the top, not just from propaganda and the mind games and the red flags, but even in our individual lives. So many people, I don't even know the numbers, but so many people, one way or another, whether it's at work, whether it's with a lover, whether it's with a parent, a brother or a sister, have been affected by or abused by a narcissistic energy. And so it feeds into more and more isolation, more and more people pulling away, not just from the community around them, the people around them, but eventually from themselves. So we've had a time of many of us building ourselves up, doing the inner work to clear out those wounds, to clear out that triggering, nasty reactionary state. And if you haven't done so already, it's time. It's time you get on it. Because no longer do we want to be affected by, this love bombing on one side, but behind your back, stabbing you in the back. So just be aware of that. Be aware of the structure of that, how that works. Look into narcissism and you'll see the political world. You'll see the people that you've encountered in your life and how clever it is, but they all go off the same script. It's not creative. You would think every narcissist had been sat down from nursery age to high school age and taught all of the tricks of the trade, because they're all very, very similar. There's no creativity there. It's an equation. It's an equation to break down, take away, isolate. And so we need to have our equation, and our equation is very simple. It's love, it's compassion, it's understanding, it's value for human life, in particular value for our children's lives and our children's safety and our children's future. Today I want to say this isn't a game. This is a different kind of war that we haven't experienced. Bombs haven't gone off. but it's been a real mind game, a real war of the minds. And many of us are playing the game without even knowing the rules. So look up narcissism today. Don't spend too much time on it, don't go deep down the rabbit hole, because you'll see very, very quickly, just with a little bit of reading, as I said before, you'll see every tear that narcissism, it runs through the veins. And so by doing this, by being connected to one another, by being kind and compassionate to one another, and being brutal against this energy, to just cut it out of our existence, to not give it any air, to not give it any time, to not give it any space, any thought. Light, dark. We need to feed into that light so that we have the power and the knowledge of what the dark consists of, and even the dark corners within ourselves, where those wounds are, where those hurts are, where that conforming is, where that control mechanism is, to cut it out for good. Just cut it out. I, for one, would be over the moon if I could ever dream and hope that my children will never either become a narcissist or will ever have to deal with a narcissist in their lives, let alone narcissists running the world. So on the bottom of the deck of the tower, so there's movement today. There's movement behind the scenes also. Things haven't quite worked out quite as well, quite as smoothly as was planned. Things haven't quite gone to plan because of this. The internet's gotten away with them a little bit, hasn't it? And that information and that connectedness with people around the world has made a real impact on whatever plan, whatever spell was cast, whatever equation was made up for this psyop. So this Tower card, it represents a disappointment in that there hasn't been a winner or a loser. And it represents, I feel, a good thing today, in that for me the Tower card often is the implosion and explosion and stripping away, so that it can't be built back up again, of everything that is built up of illusion, of ego, of things that aren't sustainable, aren't real, aren't part of your real soul's journey, what you came here to do. The Tower for me is built up of all of the labels, all of the names, all of the limitations, all of the controls that have been fed into us, but then taking responsibility, we've actually taken that on board. We've allowed those labels to stick. We've allowed ourselves to be controlled. So we've built up this tower, each and every one of us, to varying degrees at some point on this journey. And so it may be a bit of a shock to some that the Tower card comes in like thunderous. It takes off the crown of this tower. It opens up that pineal gland, because there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. It's an explosion. It's a stripping away, stripping bare of everything that has been built up of ego and illusion. And so be aware of that today if you're part of this group. And you might come across people who are feeling very confused, very worried, very frightened. Take them in, take them under your wing. Don't bombard them with all of the truth straight away. Just let them transmute this energy and this reality, this false reality falling down at their feet. Just be there. Just be there. The right people will ask the right questions at the right time. And if you're willing, you'll be there ready to answer those questions to the best of your ability, because nobody knows everything. So it's a very powerful day today, really powerful day, but it's a day to not procrastinate. Get stuff done. get connected somehow, some way to others. Be a part of it. You know, we've all got a stake in this, whether you have children or not, whether you just have nieces or nephews, whether, you know, it's family. We're all family. Let's start acting that way. So that's the reading for the 30th of the 4th, 2020, 30th of April 2020. I hope that helped. I hope that guided and inspired you on your day. So, 1 second, baby. I hope that helped. If you'd like a private reading, get in touch with me with any of the details above or below this video, depending on where you're watching it on the platform. You okay, baby? 1 second, Theodore. Other than that, much love. Be balanced. Very balanced today. And whole.
YouTube channel and like press the bell button and press the bell symbol and share my YouTube channel.
Exactly. Do that. Thank you. Love you. Mwah.